This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. We get lots of questions about particular towns and what your favorite memories are. I don't know, I'll ask those often, but two stick out here. The first one being from Rob. Did you ever wrestle in Delaware? That just felt like a random thing that maybe we've never talked about. And I'm like, you know what? That is a tiny state. I don't even know how often they have matches there or WWE runs that town, but I don't imagine he would have ran it for Crockett. So maybe you're 1 year with WWE. I mean, do you remember wrestling in Delaware?
I don't think so. The closest was Philly, which was regular. And I know Delaware is just because JJ kind of lives on the border there. That's somewhere. Right. I don't think so. I don't think so. I might have been an agent. There might have been a random Dover show that I was maybe an agent on, but I don't think I ever wrestled there. No.
And the other question that we got about towns, Swede Johnson rather, says, any good memories of working in LA? As a 12-year-old, I was at the Forum for the Great American Bash Tour on August 5th, 1988 to see the War Games match. It was one of the greatest nights of my life watching everyone in that match bleed. We didn't hear a ton about you guys going to the West Coast, but I know you did a few times, maybe in 87, but certainly in 88. And then when you worked for the WWF, I'm sure you did. Any good memories of Los Angeles?
Well, we went to Los Angeles more than you would think. And we always tried to get there early enough where we could go down to Venice Beach Golds and work out, which is just if you've never been there, you should just go there. Even if you're not going to work out, put on some workout clothes and pretend that you are, and just go in and just people watch. There's some of the biggest monsters, bodybuilding guys, powerlifting guys, sightseers that you've ever seen in your life. What a spectacle it is. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. And I'm used to being around big guys that are jacked. But until you've seen a guy that's like a professional bodybuilder, they go to a whole different realm of just the second you see them, you go, Jesus Christ, you're talking about a cartoon character. But unbelievable. And, occasionally we would go down there on the wharf and have a nice seafood meal if we got there, like, say, the night before and we had enough time in the early afternoon. And then you got to go to the Forum. Man, the history. Rick was always a big Laker fan, and just the history of everything that went down in that arena. You could just sense it and feel it, and you would all, Jesus, what was that?
I was doing a run-in on my Skype here. Don't worry about it. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay. You scared the shit out of me. And you would have, your athletes and your stars and stuff that would come to LA shows and come to the backstage. And probably the most memorable, which I have up on my wall of fame, which has not that many trophies, but a few things from my past. We were at the sports arena when we were wrestling for WWF. And I've told this story before. I think on the podcast, we get a message back in the locker room. There's a gentleman that has his grandson out here would like to say hello. If you and Tully don't, in those days we were heels, straight hardcore heels. And, we didn't usually grant stuff like that specifically because, we wanted to keep some heat. But they said there's a guy out here with his grandson. He'd like to have an autograph. If you guys don't mind. I got Tully and we walked out. Who do you think it was standing there?
No idea.
Gene Hackman.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Remember that story?
I do. Yes, sir.
Had his grandson there. I couldn't believe it. I almost thought somebody was ribbing us and got one of those actor lookalikes. Sure. Because I'm a huge Gene Hackman fan. And we came out, shook his hands. We got some pictures. I have one up on my wall. It's man, he's just so good at his craft, and I have so much respect for him. And it was so nice to see that his grandson was just another wrestling fan, another kid, and we happened to be his favorites. So it was a really cool night, and never forget that one either.
Oh, that's super cool. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money, it's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.